subscribe to our YouTube channel, Joy Learning TV.
Hello, and another pleasant welcome to your Joy Learning channel. This is the SHS Hour, SHS1 English, and I'm your facilitator, Dennis Amuba. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. Whenever we meet like this, then it means you are learning English. And as you know, apart from French that we study in our schools, and maybe the Ghanaian languages, Ga, Chi, Ewe, and the Bani, all other languages, all other subjects that we take are written in English. And so English is critical because it's the medium of instruction and it is also the official language of this country. We have done some listening, we have done some grammar, we have done some comprehension, we have done some reading. Today we are at the writing stage. And the last time we met, you remember, we looked at the structure of an essay, because the paper 2 of our English paper is composed of composition, comprehension, and summary. The composition has 5 questions, and you would have to write one of them. So we needed to know how to structure our essays. And we said that every essay has some 3 key parts. If you remember, we said that the parts are you said that the introduction, and the introduction gives you the point of view of the writer. And this one is identified in the thesis statement, if you remember. That is that statement which all the other sentences or the issues that we raise or the facts that we raise in the body hang on, as well as the conclusion which will summarize everything that we are saying. And we learned that the body is written in paragraphs, okay? And every paragraph must have one main idea and it should have a topic sentence. We had not done paragraph development. And today, that is why we have met. We are going to do paragraph development. Paragraph development. We're going to develop some paragraphs, but we will not be writing. We will be looking more at what a paragraph is. If you did not know, we will try to remind you of what a paragraph is. Our topic, paragraph development, but this is paragraph development 1. So we will only be interested in the location of what we call the topic sentence. That's the topic, but we will explain what a paragraph is. What is it? Have you bothered to find out? Have you troubled yourself to find what a paragraph is? You have to look it up in the dictionary. But before you do that, today we will have that interaction. I'm sure that you will appreciate what a paragraph is. So we explain what a paragraph is in this encounter. We will also try to identify paragraphs in given tests. What shows that something is a paragraph? We will try to find out what it is. And then we will learn to locate, that's the focus of this lesson. We will try to locate the sentence that contains the main idea in a paragraph. And how do we call that sentence? That sentence which contains the main idea in a paragraph. Then we will do some exercise. I love this exercise where you will be arranging a jumbled text. Okay, we arrange jumbled texts. Saying this should be test, jumbled test, into a logical one. So maybe a jumbled test. Let me just do the omission here. We arrange a jumbled test into a logical one. I think that that is what should be done. Okay, so we arrange a jumbo text into a logical one. I'll give you a paragraph. It will be jumbled, as it were. The sentences will be mixed up, and that will be an interesting thing, I'm sure. You wouldn't be found wanting at all. So we go, what is a paragraph? If you have been writing from JHS, we are in SHS, it is important that we review. If you know already, if you do not know, we are learning together. What is a paragraph? What we say is that a paragraph is any piece of writing, okay, that is distinct. So they say a paragraph may be explained as a distinct section or portion of a piece of writing dealing with a single or a particular idea. Sometimes they say dealing with one main idea. Every paragraph is a distinct section. It sets itself apart. And usually beginning with an indentation. What is an indentation? Basic. When you get a piece of paper, you see a piece of paper like this, and then there is a line here. That line you call the margin, right? So you have your margin. That space from the margin to where you first write. So let's say I am writing. You write, I am writing. To seek permission. To be absent from school. Okay, so let's say this is what you wanted to write. This space, let me do it well so you get a sense of it. Yes, let me reduce it a bit. So let's say I wrote from here, this space, okay, the space here to the I is the paragraph. This one we have just reduced so that this is not a paragraph. So this is covered. But this space is the indentation. Okay, there's some hole there. So when you see in a piece of writing that distinct part where there's a hole, that's what we call the indentation. The space that is left between the margin and where you start writing. The first sentence will start from there, but the subsequent ones will go close to the margin. That space there is an indentation on a new line. So that's what we call a paragraph. When you are writing, you do that, but on the computer, you can just press enter and it gives you a space, and so you have your writing in those spaces as paragraphs. But actually, it is that distinct portion or section of a writing, a piece of writing, that deals with a single or a particular idea, and usually beginning with an indentation. That's why we say it is usually. Okay? On the computer, you might not have that. So that is what I wanted us to know about a paragraph. I hope that this has explained some things to us. What a paragraph is. On any day when we are reading, we've been taught in JHS, so we should know what a paragraph is. And so when we are writing, it will be expected of us to write in paragraphs. Good. And a paragraph deals with a single idea. It's focused on a single idea. A single idea. And usually with an indentation on a new line. Great. We go to the next one. So you see that this, we have two paragraphs here, right? The first one starts from let us face it. The space here, let's say this is our margin. The space that is found here is the indentation. So we have one paragraph, another paragraph, first paragraph, second paragraph. Even though it ended here, we didn't continue. We came to a new line and had that indentation. That is what we call the paragraph. So we have one paragraph, a distinct section of this piece of writing. Okay? And each of these will have one main idea or a single idea, or a particular idea will be found in each of the paragraphs. Don't forget that. So I just gave you these pieces as samples of what a paragraph is. Don't forget that. Great. So what we're going to do is to still see some paragraphs. You see how many do we have here? How many? Look at them. How many paragraphs? Good. You said that. We have 1, 2, and 3. So when you are answering questions, sometimes the question will be asked specifically. In paragraph 2, if you didn't know what a paragraph was, you would be found wanting. So you have to know what a paragraph is. That is why we are talking about it today. Or let's say paragraph 1. Okay, according to the writer, in paragraph 1, then a question is asked. If you don't know what a paragraph is, you'll be found wanting. So paragraphs are important. They are distinct sections of a piece of writing dealing with a single idea, is focused on a single idea or a particular idea. And I'm sure that you have been able to come to terms with that based on the examples I have given you. So you have scientific inventions are known and used in all places across the globe. You see that as the beginning. The next one, the capacity of science to do good to humans seems infinite. That's the second paragraph. Then we come to the third one. What decades ago was in the realm of science fiction has now become a reality. That is the third paragraph. And we have said that every paragraph deals with one main idea. It is a distinct section which has one main idea or a particular idea. Great. So we will go ahead to now find what we mean by a topic sentence. Okay. That sentence which all the other sentences in the paragraph hang on. That is where you say you have the main idea. I'm going to give you something, then we just look at where the main idea is. It says, Menu is an excellent student. He is studious. He is regular and punctual in class. Not only does he do every assignment, but he also submits them on time. During lessons, he listens to the teacher with rapt attention. He asks questions and answers questions. As a result, he scores grades A in every. He scores, this should be an S. He scores grades A in every subject in the end. I think in the end here, they didn't come why. In the end of the semester examinations. Okay, so he scores grades A in every subject in the end of the semester examinations. What is our topic sentence? Where is the main idea? I think there was a hint when we were looking at the structure of an essay, when we were looking at some paragraphs. So read it carefully and let me get a sense that you have followed what we have been teaching all this while. Good, you said it. It's the first sentence. You see that? Menu is an excellent student. That is the main idea of this particular paragraph. You see, all the other sentences hang on it and they develop that idea. Menu is an excellent student. What makes him excellent? Then the writer goes ahead to say that he is studious. Okay, then goes ahead to say he is regular and punctual in class. Not only does he do every assignment, all these go to buttress that statement. Menu is an excellent student. In that main sentence, from the verb to the end, which we know, from the verb to the end of that statement, what is that? Yes, we said it. Predicate. Great. So that's your predicate. And menu is the subject, if you remember. Subject, predicate. And in the predicate, you have the idea there. That which you are saying about menu is there. What is that? An excellent student. So the excellent student here becomes what we call the controlling idea. So every topic sentence has what you call the subject. We call it the topic or the theme. That is what you are talking about. So menu is the topic, and what has been said about menu, that which we have said about menu, becomes the controlling idea. That's the point we are making about menu. So our next sentence, you go to explain that point. In developing paragraphs, that's what we do. State your point. I usually will say this to my students: why do people marry? And because they do that in social studies, and I think management and living, my home econs class, they will say people marry for companionship. Okay. So companionship is my point, as it were. Okay. People marry for mutual assistance. People marry for procreation. Procreation, mutual assistance, companion, those are the points. That is what we call the controlling idea. Okay, so when you say people become your top, people marry for companionship. Companionship is the point. So every paragraph has a topic sentence. The topic sentence has the topic and the controlling idea. The controlling idea is usually in the predicate. Okay, so here we have menu is an excellent student. The excellent student is the controlling idea. So we go ahead to say things that will let us know that everything we are saying about menu is true as far as his being excellent is concerned. So we say he is studious. Okay, if you are excellent, you have to be studious, because if you are not, you will not be able to make the grades. He is regular and punctual in class. If you want to be an excellent student, then the writer goes ahead to say that not only does he do every assignment, but he also submits them on time. Excellent student. During lessons, he listens. And that's one of the things I've always had a challenge with my students. You know, we have always fought over this. Students nowadays don't listen, but I hope you are listening. You know, you are listening. Listening is key if you want to be an excellent student. So during lessons, he listens. He doesn't hear, he listens. There's a difference between listening and hearing. I know you know. When you listen, you make every effort to hear what is said, and you don't discuss anything with anybody when your teacher is teaching. Just as you're doing now, you're watching me, and so you are listening, you are watching at the same time. You are not doing anything apart from watching. So during lessons, he listens to the teacher with rapt attention. He asks questions. Excellent student. If you want to be excellent, we should ask questions and answers questions. When you put all of this together, it says, as a result, he scores grades A in every subject in the end of the semester examinations. Therefore, menu A is what? Excellent. So you see, this is how the paragraph is developed. a topic sentence is made, and we say that there's a topic and there's a controlling idea. That which you always talk about as the points, I'm raising my points, okay? That becomes the controlling idea in the topic sentence. And that is what you develop in the subsequent sentences. Good. So that is it. We found that. Let's see this. Whether we can locate this. Said locate the sentence that has the main idea. My dog, Scooby-Doo, is much fun to play with. One reason he's fun is because he loves to play catch. What is also fun is that he follows me around the house with a toy and drops it on my foot, so I kick it. Additionally, he can catch a tennis ball. Finally, he loves it when I pretend I am falling dead and he runs over to lick me. All these reasons show why I really have fun playing with Scooby-Doo. Do we follow? What is the main sentence here? You have found it. Great. What is it? The first sentence. The first sentence. My dog, Scooby-Doo, is so much fun to play with. And this extract is in your first year Black Star Series book 1, page 27. When you go there, you'll find that. Okay? And once that has been made, the writer goes ahead to give us reasons why they have made that statement. And this statement, we say, is the topic sentence. The topic sentence has the topic, which is what we call the subject. So it's my dog Scooby-Doo. What have we said about Scooby-Doo? So much fun to play with. The other sentences should not still talk about Scooby-Doo and other things. It should rather develop the idea, so much fun to play with. The writer goes ahead to give us the reasons. So one reason he is fun, so the fun here has been repeated, so much, the fun didn't come here, F-U-N. The reason why he's fun is because he loves to play catch. You know, dogs, as you run, they'll be chasing you to catch you. That's one of the reasons that the writer gives. What is also fun, the fun has been repeated, is that he follows me around the house with a toy and drops it on my foot, so I kick it. Fun. Then the word additionally means the writer is adding on. He can catch a tennis ball. Then he said, finally, he loves it when I pretend I am falling dead and he runs over to lick me. All these reasons show why I really have fun. You see, the fun has come back. Fun play with Scooby-Doo. So here the point is made at the beginning. I hope you're following. Whenever you are asked to write, get your ideas, look at the question, state your point. That idea you have got is the controlling idea. Then look at the topic you are writing on and then make the sentence. After that, you develop the sentence. But what we are looking at is how to locate. You will start writing in our subsequent lessons. We will try to develop paragraphs and we see how interesting it will be. It will be fun and I'm sure you will follow and do very well. Let's look at another. This one is your job to do it. I want us to read and then you will tell me where the topic sentence is. So we say locate the topic sentence in the text below. Please read and locate it for me. I know you'll be able to do this. Yeah. So let's try. Quickly, the people of Kojo Krom gathered. This is also in the Black Star series. If I should tell you, page 35, book 1, SHS 1. Quickly, the people of Kojo Krom gathered the sheep and goat into the pens. The children rushed through the village gathering firewood to pile. Men and women fetched water from the riverside to fill the pots and containers as rapidly as possible. Finally, everybody stood together at the village square just before the warriors went to stand near the wall. So the people of Kojo Krom prepared for the coming war. What is the topic sentence? Whoa, you got it. This time the topic sentence was not at the beginning. It was placed at the end. You see that? We are given a description of what the people were doing, and then we get a sense of everything that's about to happen at the end. So we say, quickly the people of Kojo Krom gathered the sheep and goats into the pens. The children rushed through the village gathering firewood to pile. Men and women fetched water from the riverside to fill the pots and containers as rapidly as possible. Finally, everybody stood together at the village square just before the warriors went to stand near the wall. And so the people of Kojo Krom prepared for the coming war. Everything at the top is preparation towards that coming war. And that statement is made at the end of everything. What does that tell us? It means that the topic sentence can also be at the end of our paragraph. That style, SHS, I'm not sure we have got it, but I think if you develop your writing skills, you can still say things and come and make your points like it has been done here. The person gives us a description. Quickly, people of Kojo Krom gathered. Then everything. The children rushed through the village gathering firewood to pile. They are preparing. And that's why the end tells us everything. And so the people of Kojo Krom prepared for the coming war. So what we are trying to establish here is that you can locate the main idea of a paragraph as the first sentence. It can also be the last sentence of the paragraph. Don't forget that. It depends on how you read it closely and you find it. Let's look at this one. There's another sentence. Let's see if we can identify the topic sentence of this paragraph. Okay. Like other children of her age, 9-year Amina plays baseball and swims. She also has a lovely doll purposely carved to look just like her. Amina was born with a birth defect that has left her paralyzed from waist down. Her look-alike doll helps her remember that although she may be physically challenged, she is not a disabled child. Did you find it? I'm sure you have found that, right? Good. What is it? Amina was born with a birth defect. Have you seen that? Amina was born with a birth defect that has left her paralyzed from waist down. So this also tells us that the topic sentence can be in the middle. The main sentence, which all the other sentences hang on, can be in the middle. We have found one which was at the beginning. Menu is an excellent student. And everything that was said supported that statement. Then we came to Kojo Krom. Once you're in SHS, you have to go and find the Black Star series, page 35, and study it again. Then we have this. Like other children of her age, 9-year Amina plays baseball and swims. She also has a lovely doll purposely carved to look like her. Amina was born with a birth defect that has left her paralyzed from waist down. Her look-alike doll helps her remember that although she may be physically challenged, she is not a disabled child. Here, the main sentence is placed in the middle. Okay? These skills, we have to develop these skills so that when we are answering questions, you'll be able to find the main ideas in the paragraph. That's what we are doing. We have said that a paragraph has a main sentence called the topic sentence, and it is that which all the other sentences hang on. In that topic sentence, you have a topic and a controlling idea. Like we said, Menu is an excellent student. What's the controlling idea? An excellent student. Excellent student. Because Menu is a student, right? So we have to go and explain what we mean by an excellent student. We heard that he was studious, he was regular and punctual, and he did his assignments and submitted them on time. And whenever he was in class, he listened, he asked questions, and he answered the questions. And as a result, he had grade A in all his subjects. All those ones go to buttress that point. So it was at the beginning. Then we had Kojo Krom, where the people were preparing, children were doing their things, and then we finally saw that. And so the people of Kojo Krom prepared for the war. It was at the end. Now we have this 9-year-old Amina plays basketball, baseball, and swims. And she has a lovely doll purposely carved to look just like her. And then the point is made that Amina was born with a birth defect that has left her paralyzed from waist down. And her look-alike doll helps her remember that although she may be physically challenged, she is not a disabled child. The main point is in the middle. I have some paragraphs for you. And our job will be to read carefully and identify the topic sentence for me. I know you'll be able to do this. You're capable of doing this. So let's try it. I have one here. Identify the topic sentence of the paragraph below. You want to find out whether you are following what I'm doing. So read it. I'm reading myself. Good. So let's read together and then we see what the topic sentence will be. What is that sentence that contains the main idea that all the other sentences hang on? Let's see. It says, does a humid summer's day make you feel grumpy? Does a rainy day make you feel depressed? The weather seems to affect people's moods. Hot weather makes some people irritable, while others love the heat and are very happy and cheerful on a summer's day. Others don't mind the heat, but they say they hate it when it is humid because the humidity makes them tired. Did you find it? Yes, you did. You got it, right? Good. The weather seems to affect people's moods. You have found that? Great. The weather seems to affect people's moods. And you see those rhetorical questions at the beginning. Does a hot, humid summer's day make you feel grumpy? Does a rainy day make you feel depressed? Then the point is made in the middle. The weather seems to affect people's moods. People's moods are affected by the weather. And the next sentence is hot weather makes, maybe in Europe, in America, in the West, summer. Hot weather makes some people irritable, while others love the heat and are very happy and cheerful on a summer's day. Others don't mind the heat, but they hate it when it is humid because the humidity makes them tired. All of these hang on the sentence, the weather seems to affect people's moods, or people's moods are affected by the weather. Okay, so that is the point you are making here. I hope you have been able to locate them. Yes, let's find another and see. You have two paragraphs here. I'd like you to read them carefully and just identify the main sentence, which we call the topic sentence, because that's what we are doing. We are just locating topic sentences in a paragraph. And our ability to do that will help us to answer comprehension questions easily. Once we know that which all the other sentences hang on, any question that is asked in that paragraph should not be a problem for us. And that will also help our summary when we get there. Okay. The first one. Good. Says, let us face it. The average entrepreneur thrives on loans raised often from the banks. So he is a risk taker who is ready to part with his properties used as collateral should the business fail. Most university academics are scared of taking bank loans. What is the main idea there? You said it, the last sentence. The writer gives you a scenario. Let us face it. The average entrepreneur thrives on loans. He gives you a scenario. And so entrepreneurs are not the ones that are focused on. Therefore, so he is a risk taker who is ready to part with his properties used as collateral should the business fail. Then he makes the point. Most university academics are scared of taking bank loans. That's what the writer wants us to know. That's the main idea. But gives you a background. People who can take loans. The next one. Supporting what he said. In any case, even if they want to take risks, academics hardly ever have the type of properties that banks demand for collateral. Then we have to realize that an academic has spent a great part of his life acquiring qualifications, after which he tries to settle down in a rented staff apartment and save on a monthly basis to acquire a car, educate his children, and money to live comfortably. No bank would take a car, even if it is new, as collateral. What's the point here? Good. Academics hardly ever have the type of properties banks demand for collateral. Have you seen that part? Academics hardly ever have the type of properties. So if that's the point, he said even if they want to take risks, they don't have. The first one says academics are scared. Most university academics are scared of taking bank loans. That's why he gives the entrepreneur who takes risks. Okay, so the scenario is given and the point is given. But then he comes and says, this one, the point is made, before he goes ahead to explain why the university academic doesn't even have the collateral banks demand for loans. Okay, so he says that in any case, even if they want to take risks, academics hardly ever have the type of properties that banks demand for collateral. In essence, he's saying that most university academics have no collateral for bank loans. And why is he saying that? He goes ahead to support that and says, we have to realize that an academic has spent a great deal or a great part of his life acquiring qualifications, after which he tries to settle down in a rented staff apartment and save on a monthly basis to acquire a car, educate his children, and money to live comfortably. No bank would take a car, even if it is new, as collateral. So the point is made there, and the reason is given. At the beginning to say, even if they want to take risks, they don't have. They don't want to take risks. Even if they want to take risks, the writer is saying they don't have the collateral banks demand for loan, or they don't have the collateral to obtain bank loans. And the reason is given. So in that paragraph, the main point is that the first paragraph, most university academics are scared of taking loans. The other point is that most university academics do not have collateral to obtain bank loans. So if you were answering summary questions, this would be the point. And you look at the question and you form your sentences based on these ideas, because you have two ideas there clearly explained or stated. So don't forget that. You'll be using them to answer our summary questions, and that will help us. That's why it's important for us to be able to identify or locate the main ideas in paragraphs. And as you have said, a paragraph is a distinct section or portion of a piece of writing that deals with one main idea. So you see that the paragraphs have one main idea in each of them, and they are developed. Great. We have one paragraph here, and this is what I said we were going to do. I said I was going to give you a paragraph that is jumbled. In other words, I've mixed the sentences up. If you understood what we did, then you should be able to read this paragraph and identify the sentence that should come first, arrange them logically, and then get a coherent whole. What sentence should come first? What should follow? And what should come next? So that we are able to get a paragraph, because every paragraph must have unity. So we want to look at them. You number them as you read. Read them and number. Let's see whether you can get them correctly. This shouldn't be difficult for you. I'm sure you have found the first one. What's the next one? Good. I hope you have got them. Just write the first word beginning the sentence, or if you like, if you have your phone, you can just take a shot of it and then you tell us which one should come first. Great. So our first sentence, you got that? You know, we have to have an idea of pronoun use, you know, in developing paragraphs. When you say a man came here last week, then the next one I'll say he said, so that he referred to the noun already mentioned. Do you have some nouns there that we have pronouns referring to them? Or a word that means the same as another word in there? All of these will help us. That's why we learn parts of speech. Nouns, pronouns, and all. Okay, so we have this. Good, you saw this. So we have these violent storms are often 100 miles in diameter, and their winds can reach velocities of 75 miles an hour or more. There should be a full stop here. The energy that is released by a hurricane in one day exceeds the total energy consumed by humankind throughout the world in 1 year. Hurricanes, which are also called tropical cyclones, exert tremendous power. Furthermore, the strong winds and heavy rainfall that accompany them can completely destroy a small town in a couple of hours. You have seen it. Good. Our first sentence is this one. Hurricanes, which are... Have you seen that? That's number one. Hurricanes, which are also called tropical cyclones, exert tremendous power. Okay? And then we have its pronoun, right? Hurricanes are violent storms. Have you seen? That's number two. These violent storms are often 100 miles in diameter, and their winds can reach velocities of 75 miles an hour or more. Then we come to, furthermore, you see the strong winds are here because you have storms here. Okay? Furthermore. So that's our number three. Okay? I hope you have got that. Furthermore, the strong winds and heavy rainfall that accompany them can completely destroy a small town in a couple of. Then we come and say that the energy. That's number four. The energy that is released by a hurricane in one day exceeds the total energy consumed by consumers throughout the world in 1 year. Okay, so these are some of the things. When a paragraph is given to you, you should be able to find the main idea. This one was jumbled, and I'm sure you were able to find that one sentence which had the main idea. That which we are talking about is hurricanes, and they are called violent storms, and they are also strong winds. You get that? And then we say that they release what? Energy. Okay, these are the things that we are talking about. So don't forget this. The next one, we try and see whether we'll be able to find answers. There's another paragraph. Let's see. We have jumbled another one. I want to believe that you'll find this one too. Oh. Yes. Let's try and see. So, I think there's S here, experts, right? Experts say that the internet is now growing at a rate of approximately 40% a year. As time goes on, the internet is becoming more and more popular. In 1983, there were 562 computers connected to the internet. Use of the internet has grown very quickly. By the turn of the 21st century, there were 7.3 million computers in 247 countries online. What's our first sentence? What are we talking about? Good. So we have seen it. The use of the internet has grown very quickly. Is our sentence? Is that our sentence? The use of the internet has grown very quickly. And then, what do we have? We have this one. Sorry. Expert in 1983. There were only 562 computers connected to the internet. Is that the answer? We have growing here. So we come with this growing. Experts say that the internet is now growing at a rate of approximately, so our second sentence is this, then this is our third sentence. Then we have by the 10, that becomes our fourth sentence. So we read it this way: use of the internet has grown very quickly. Experts say the internet is now growing at a rate of approximately 40% a year. And then we go to, as time goes on, sorry, where is it? Experts, let me get it again. The use of the internet has grown very quickly. Then we have experts say that the internet is now growing at a rate of approximately 40% a year. Then we have what? As time goes on, the internet is becoming more and more popular. In 1983, there were 562 computers connected to the internet. By the turn of the 21st century, there were 7.3 million computers in 247 countries online. Our last one, then we finish this. I think this one should do. So let's read it together quickly. By practicing these simple guidelines, we can save our natural resources. Another way is to drive cars less. There are several ways people can conserve natural resources. Finally, by reusing things like bottles and plastic bags, people can reduce the amount of waste. One way is to turn lights and appliances off when they are not in use. You have seen that. Good. Our first sentence is, there are. Number one, there are several ways people can conserve natural resources. Once you have stated there are, then what do? We are numbering. So we say one way as number two. One way is to turn lights and appliances off when they are not in use. As the other, say, finally, because another way is here. Good. Another way is to drive cars less. So we have, there are several ways people can conserve natural resources. Two, one way is to turn lights and appliances off when they are not in use. One way. Then the word another tells us that we have mentioned one already, we are coming with another. So another way is to drive cars less. And then we have finally as our fourth sentence. Finally, by reusing things like bottles and plastic bags, people can reduce the amount of waste. We have listed the points. One way, another way, finally. We have made our point. There are several ways people can conserve natural resources. And we have our concluding sentence, which is, by practicing this, by practicing these simple guidelines, we can save our natural resources. So this is how, when we are given a jumbled paragraph to rearrange, we have to read the sentences. When you're done reading, then you try to ask yourself, what is the whole thing about? And then you try numbering them. Are there nouns? We have pronouns that are relating. Are we listing some points to support a particular idea? Once you're able to do that, then we are ready to go. I think that we have had an interesting encounter. What we have said today is that in writing our essays, you have to know the structure. After knowing the structure, we are certainly going to brainstorm, think about points. And when we have our points, we have to develop paragraphs. We are not writing today, we are just looking at different paragraphs and where the ideas are. So we looked at what a paragraph was, and we said that a paragraph is a distinct piece of writing focused on a single idea. In other words, every paragraph has one main idea. You don't put two ideas in a paragraph. Okay? So every paragraph has one main idea. Anytime you are reading, look out for that one idea in that paragraph and see how the other sentences hang on that to make meaning for you to get what they are talking about. Then you have every paragraph has what we call a topic sentence. And the main idea is contained in that topic sentence. Remember the example of Menu. Menu is an excellent student. And the topic was Menu. The controlling idea was an excellent student. So we had to explain what we meant by excellent. And we heard that he was studious, he was regular and punctual in class. He listened during lessons and he asked questions and he also answered questions. And he did his assignments and submitted them on time. And because of that, he had A's in all his subjects. So you have to have that main idea. Then we also talked about the fact that every paragraph has a topic sentence, but the topic sentence can be at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end. So when we are reading our paragraphs in our comprehension passages, we should be mindful of these things. I think it has been exciting coming your way. We're going to have the time to do paragraph development 2, where we will be giving topics and we brainstorm, come up with our points, and then we develop our paragraphs, keeping in mind the topic sentence being at the beginning, the middle, or at the end. Don't you forget, as always, I love you to bits. Bye for now.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Joy Learning TV.